Morning, folks. Welcome to the Melba's Gone Rogue channel. So, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you found the channel. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. And if you are returning, I hope you subscribe to the channel. If you're new, if you like the content today, I invite you to subscribe as well. And a like, of course. So, anyways, I'm Sweet Melba, and this channel is specifically about documenting my development really as a content creator. So my main channel is the AKA Sweet Melba channel, and that channel launched on August 6th. And I have been documenting my development of the channel, kind of what I've been learning, my analytics. This is week 3. So not from the very beginning, but like I say, I guess halfway in. Anyways, this is the start of week 3. So I share my analytics on the AKA Sweet Melba channel and also on this channel, the Melba's Gone Rogue channel. And if you're new and don't know what the rogue refers to, you can go back to the previous videos and I explain what that is. It's basically my approach to being a content creator. So something unique, I think. So if you check it out, that'd be great. And if you want to follow along with the analytics and whatnot, I'd encourage you to go take a look at the AKA Sweet Melba website so that you can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully, share some comments, and hopefully, you like that channel. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and get started. And I like to start with the analytics for week 3. So I guess I misspoke. This is the start of week 4. So I'm reviewing week 3. So anyways, we'll get started with that. So I have my notes and everything ready to go, and I just kind of use my laptop as a place for my papers. So I'm doing a weekly review. The first week of the channel, I was doing it daily as I was starting the Melba's Gone Rogue channel. So there is some content there. And then last week's video, this week's video. So this is a review again of week 3. So the week 3 analytics, and I'll put some pictures on the video, and then I'll have some of this data also highlighted on the video. Kind of easier to follow along, I think. So grab my glasses, and this is always a morning, typically always a morning show. So I have my coffee. I hope you do as well. Something to drink this morning as we talk about being new YouTubers. Okay, so on the AKA Sweet Melba website, again, or excuse me, YouTube channel, that's the primary account. So I had 1 new video and 2 new shorts for week 3. One short was just kind of a general on the channel, and it was specifically about why I always film sitting on my porch. So, a fun topic. Anyway, and then the other short was a promo of my video, number 7 video. So, I have talked in my other program or other videos that shorts, I really use shorts as promos or promotions for the videos that I'm doing. I don't myself watch shorts, but I have found, and the numbers will show today, that the shorts really do have that reach of getting people out there. I haven't really seen a big return on that in terms of subscribers, but I do have some ups on that this week, so we'll get to that. So anyway, so 1 video and 2 shorts. So I had 180 views total last week, a total of 4 hours, so that's pretty good of watch time, and 1 new sub, which did come from a short, so that's great. So I appreciate that. Welcome. And a total of 375 impressions for the channel last week. So specifically the videos. I had 21 views on the videos, 159 impressions, So YouTube putting it out there, feeding it to people, right? My click-through rate was really good. It was 10%, so I was happy with that. And my average view duration on the videos was 9 minutes, so that was good too. So the shorts, 159 views. Again, that's where it seems like that's where everybody's watching. Anyways, 159 views. 73 of those are considered engaged views. So they actually sat and watched it for a period of time. So yay for that. And I got 5 likes. So that was nice too. And as I already mentioned, I got 1 new sub from a short. So that was nice. And it was from the general promotion about porch sitting and why I always film on the porch. So that was nice. So improvement. So we were all good here. We had one thing that went down, but everything else went up. So I was really happy about that. So I had 9 more video views. So that was a 75% increase. And I had 2 less short views. So a 1% decrease. I had 42 more engaged views, which was an increase of 135%. So that was good. Was happy about that. My click through rate, like I said, had gone up. So in week 2, it was 3%, and in week 3, it was 10%. So that was a 233% increase. So again, nice. The video impressions went down some by 23% from 206 impressions in week 2 to 159 in week 3. So, not sure why that is, but anyway. The average view duration on the video week 2 was just over 6 minutes, but week 3 was 9 minutes. So that was a 50% increase. So that was really good too. So all good there. So I'm happy with that. So some progress. I'd love to see more subscribers though. 1 new subscriber. Anyway, hopefully we're getting there. On the Melba's Gone Rogue channel, that's this channel. So I did the one video, so last week's video, and then no shorts. And I had hoped to do a short. That was one of my goals, and I didn't get to that. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I had a total of 36 views on the Melba's Gone Rogue channel, a total of 1.7 hours of watch time, and 1 new sub. So welcome. Yay. Appreciate that. And 1,500 impressions. So that was good. I was happy with that. And the click through rate of 1.7%. So still kind of low, but some improvement. So compared to week 2 on the, again, Melba's Gone Rogue channel, this channel. So I had 21 more views of the videos. Well, that was 140% increase. So that was nice. The impressions went up significantly. I had 555 more impressions than in week 2. And so that was a 59% increase. And the average view duration went up by a minute. And that was a 100% increase. So that was nice. And then the click through rate, that went up a little bit too. So it was at 1.7% this week, and it had been at 1, so a 70% increase. So good, all good. So like I say, aside from a couple minor decreases, although the impressions on the videos went down by 23%. So I'm not sure what's gearing that, why YouTube is putting it out a little bit less, given that my click-through rate went up significantly. So I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so those are the analytics. So again, I feel pretty good about those. Some all positive increases. So happy about that. Time put in. Hopefully, it looks like it paid off a little bit. So good. So in week 3, I was kind of just part of the channel. What were my goals for that week? And so I kind of want to report on that. So I was really trying to focus a little bit more thought on who was my audience. And so I did that, and I don't think my view really changed much. Um, being that, I think my content on the AKA Sweet Melba's got, excuse me, AKA Sweet Melba, the main channel, is, focusing on what it means to have a life well lived, how our life experiences, our activities, all contribute to aspects of a life well lived, and sharing life stories, sharing life lessons, and how doing that is a reflection for me to evaluate my life and the things I still would like to do, some of the challenges I've had. But then, obviously, for the audience, hopefully, my sharing and of the life stories and the lessons is, having other people start considering those aspects of their life as well, and you know considering what they've done and what they're grateful for, the people and the opportunities that they've had, and hopefully, again, creating an environment in which they feel as though, I should kind of consider some of this in my life too. And then, like I say, going forward, what else do I want to accomplish? Or where can I continue to make improvements in my life? So, again, I hope all of that resonates with viewers, that, it sparks some thinking on their part. So, who's the audience for that? I think it's pretty wide. I think a lot of mine is geared towards older. I'm 50 something. So I certainly have, in my descriptions and hashtags, things related to, aging, 50 something, senior living, things of that nature. So, obviously you're more reflective at that point in your life. And so that is certainly a primary audience from that context. But given the topics of the videos, so I'll talk about this in a minute, but my video last week that I posted was on, my 12 categories of my life that I'm evaluating and whatnot. But then individual topics would be, could appeal to a larger audience than just, people that are doing life reviews. And by that token, a life review can be at any point in your life. So again, I recognize primarily it's probably older, but I certainly am not gearing my context and my phrasing, I don't think, in the videos to people who are older. I think it can apply to those at any point in your life as you're about, your 20s, your 30s, 40s, 50s, and older, and just looking at, what a life well lived means to each one of us and considering that. So, again, if I had one of the videos that I did was a career path, and I'll talk about that here. But certainly that's more wide open to, you know, people developing their careers now, maybe mid-career, things of that nature. So that tends to be a younger audience. So I did reflect on that, and I'm trying to be aware of that when I'm talking on the videos. So I'll continue to do that going forward. So, one of my other goals for week 3 was my content. So, I wanted to have 2 videos and 3 shorts. And I accomplished the 2 videos, one on this channel, one on the other channel. And I only did 2 shorts on the main channel, aka Sweet Melba. I was wanting to do a short on this channel, and I started to work on that. And I got a little sidetracked on that. I was kind of struggling on what to pick. So I will plan for week 4 to make up for that. So I'll get to that. And then I also wanted to focus on my titles and, getting those keywords in the titles, trying to be a little more prompting in terms of getting people to engage in those. So having some curiosity, or, that creating a, something that they would want to click on. So I wanted to share the titles that I used this past week, and I'd love to get your thoughts on them too, and I'll give you some numbers on it. So my video on the AKA Suite Melba was titled My Career Path: Rejected by Baskin Robbins to a Small Business Owner. And it was just my story of my career path and how that started with Baskin Robbins, which was a fun story. And then kind of going through, first jobs, what I thought I wanted to be when I grew up, and then just reflecting on different jobs that I had during college and grad school, and how I eventually started my career and then decided to be a business owner within that career field. So if you're interested, I hope you'll check that out on the main channel. So that was my title. So I think it was catchy, I thought, in terms of including that rejected by Baskin Robbins. So again, that's a fun story, and no hard feelings to Baskin Robbins. I still go to Baskin Robbins, but that was the title. So I thought that was a pretty good title. So on that one, it's only been out since Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 3 days. So it's gotten 12 views so far. The click rate is 25%. So maybe the title was effective from that standpoint. And the keywords in the title too, career path, I did some research on that. So I'm really enjoying using the trends on the analytics tab in my studio to look at what people are searching for and looking at what are some of those key phrases are. So I've been using that. So I'm finding that helpful, both in terms of the title, the description, and hashtags. So I'm enjoying that part of it. So we'll see if that continues to provide some progress. And then on my shorts that I did, the two shorts were titled "Are We Living Our Best Life?" question mark, and a life review process. So that one was just a very intro to my overall goals and process with the AKA Sweet Melba channel. So again, just a short from that standpoint. So again, I thought it was, intriguing. Are we living our best life? And that one got 64 views and a click rate of 6%. My second short was, again, specific to the channel, and it was more just informative than anything else, in terms of why I always do my videos sitting on my porch. And that was titled Porch Sitting: Why I'm Always on the Porch. So pretty straightforward. And that one got 89 views and a click rate of 9%, so a little bit better. So I think, there is some improvement there. So I'm going to continue to watch that, continue to work on, those title creations. As I mentioned on my previous video last week, you know, some of these really catchy, titles and whatnot, to me, I they're challenging for me in that they feel very clickbaitish, and I don't want to be, over promising or, alluding to something that isn't there. And so mine are a lot more toned down, I think, from that respect. And so, yeah, therefore it's probably less curiosity driven. I don't really look at that fear approach, I guess. So I don't know, maybe something down the road kind of lends itself to something a little more, like, oh, wow, kind of thing. But I'm doing my best there, I think, and within reason of my comfort level at the same time. So I'm working on that. I'd be interested to hear others' thoughts on that and how you're doing that. So, how that's going for you. So, the other thing that I wanted to look at for week 3, and I didn't mention this, but I did this past week, was I was looking at my best content. So what has been working overall since I started the channel? So it's been, has it been almost 2 months now? So I started August 6th, and so we're almost there. So it's what, September 30th. So yeah, just shy of that. So anyway, so my top 10 content on my AKA Sweet Melba channel 8 shorts and 2 videos. So people are just watching shorts. I don't know if they don't want to watch the long form. See, I'm a long form video watcher. That's what I watch. And so that's what I'm really comfortable with. That's what my videos are. But I'm doing the shorts to kind of reach people. So I'm going to continue to move in that direction. So a little more insight. And again, if you'd like to kind of review this and share your thoughts and what you think was good about some of these shorts, the videos and whatnot, I'd really appreciate it. And that's really what this channel is about, of, sharing the process, the development, what seems to be working, what's not. And again, I'm hoping that others will join in and provide some feedback and share some of their experience. So I hope you'll do that. So my shorts. So the views on the shorts range from anywhere to 55 to 390 views. And the average view duration was anywhere from 11% to a high of 84%. So, wow. So, number one short was my Cracker Barrel short, Cracker Barrel restaurant short, about life lessons you can learn at a Cracker Barrel restaurant. I enjoyed doing that. I'm a Cracker Barrel fan. I like Cracker Barrel. So that got 390 views and a 38% average view duration. So not bad. The number two short was Life at 50 something, and that got 133 views. And that one had the high average view duration at 84%. So, yeah. And then number three was Burning Man, and tips that I shared going to Burning Man. I've been to Burning Man 4 times, and so I was sharing my insights on that. That was a fun video to do. That one got 120 views, and that was a 30% average view duration. So those are the top three on the shorts. And then the two videos that made the top 10 had anywhere from 12 views to 21 views. And average view duration was anywhere from 25% to 28%. And the number one video was my full length video on Burning Man, on the tips, suggestions, advice. That had 21 views and a view duration of 25%. And my most recent video, the My Career Path, rejected by Baskin Robbins to small business owner, that one has 12 views so far, and that just got posted on Saturday, so 3 days ago. And that has a 28% average view duration. So I'm going to continue to report on that and see if I can, pick up on what's working there. The videos, they all had the same kind of thumbnail, so not a lot of change there. And I think they're all very topic related, right? Cracker Barrel was in the news, and that's when I did my video. Burning Man, that was at the time of Burning Man week, so it was timely from that perspective. And, oh, sorry about that. And then Life in Your 50s, so that was just kind of general, obviously. But anyway, so I'll keep looking at that. Okay, so the last segment on today's video is goals for week number 4. So I'm going to do one new video posted on the Sweet Melba channel, and also one new one new video on this channel, which is this video. And then I'd like to do 2 shorts on the Sweet Melba channel and 2 shorts on this channel, since I didn't meet my goal last week of doing one. So I'm going to try to do 2 week 4 on this channel. I'm going to continue to work on my titles and my descriptions. Again, I've been really looking at what people are searching for on YouTube, kind of seeing where those are ranking. And that's in the trends feature, and looking at that low, medium, and high volume to kind of see what key phrases are in there that people are searching for, and how I might could work that into my titles as well as my description. So I'm going to continue to work on that. I'm feeling a little more comfortable with that approach. So, and then also, I have a Facebook page for the Sweet Melba, and I have an Instagram for that. And I did a couple things, a month or so ago on that, but I'm going to do that this week too. I posted a post in general about the new career path, and I posted a reel about that. So I'm curious to see how that does. I don't have anybody over there following me on Facebook. So I thought, I'm going to give that a try and see if anything generates over there. And then the same thing on Instagram. I think I got a few views on something I posted a while back, but I'm going to do a post, at least one post on Instagram, and see how those come up and see if that, might help increase the views, subscribers, and whatnot. So that's on my to-do list. So we'll see how that goes. So again, I'd love to hear people's feedback, hear what you're doing on your new channel if you're a new YouTuber, and how things are going for you, what seems to be working, what you're still challenged with. So I'm hoping this channel, again, is really a documenting of the process of being a new content creator. And again, I'm still enjoying the process. I enjoy doing it, having a good time with it, and just seeing how this goes, trying to continue to learn along the way, and trying to look at those analytics and kind of interpret from that what seems to be working and what's not. So again, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Hopefully you like the video today. Give a thumbs up. And I'd encourage you to go over and watch the Sweet Melba account as well, channel, and hopefully subscribe to that channel. So I'll look forward to seeing you next week. I'll be back and sharing the progress on week 4. So I hope everybody has a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I'm Sweet Melba.